Krakow is the second largest and one of the oldest cities in Poland. Situated on the Vistula River in Lesser Poland Voivodeship, the city dates back to the 7th century. Krakow was the official capital of Poland until 1596, and has traditionally been one of the leading centers of Polish academic, economic, cultural and artistic life. Krakow lies in the southern part of Poland, on the Vistula River, in a valley at the foot of the Carpathian Mountains, 219 meters above sea level, halfway between the Jurassic Rock upland to the north, and the Tatra Mountains 100 kilometers to the south, constituting the natural border with Slovakia and the Czech Republic. Cited as one of Europe's most beautiful cities, its old town with Wawel Royal Castle was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1978, one of the world's first sites granted the status. The city has grown from a Stone Age settlement to Poland's second most important city. It began as a hamlet on Wawel Hill and was reported by Abraham ibn Jakub, a merchant from Cordoba, as a busy trading center of Central Europe in 985. With the establishment of new universities and cultural venues at the emergence of the Second Polish Republic in 1918, and throughout the 20th century, Krakow reaffirmed its role as a major national academic and artistic center. As of 2022, the city has a population of 800,653, with approximately 8 million additional people living within a 100-kilometer radius of its main square. After the invasion of Poland by Nazi Germany at the start of World War II, the newly defined district Krakow, or Krakow district, became the capital of Germany's general government. The Jewish population of the city was forced into a walled zone known as the Krakow Ghetto, from where they were sent to Nazi extermination camps such as the nearby Auschwitz, and Nazi concentration camps like Dachau. However, the city was spared from destruction and major bombing. In 1978, Karol Wojtyła, Archbishop of Krakow, was elevated to the papacy as Pope John Paul II, the first non-Italian pope in 455 years. Also that year, UNESCO approved Krakow's entire old town and historic center, and the nearby Wieliczka salt mine, as Poland's first World Heritage Sites. Krakow is classified as a global city with the ranking of high sufficiency by the Globalization and World Cities Research Network. Its extensive cultural heritage across the epochs of Gothic, Renaissance and Baroque architecture includes Wawel Cathedral and Wawel Royal Castle on the banks of the Vistula, St. Mary's Basilica, Saints Peter and Paul Church, and the largest medieval market square in Europe, Rhynek Bounty. Krakow is home to Jagiellonian University, one of the oldest universities in the world, and traditionally Poland's most reputable institution of higher learning. The city also hosts a number of institutions of national significance, such as the National Museum, Krakow Opera, Julius Społacki Theatre, National Stary Theatre and the Jagiellonian Library. The city is served by John Paul II International Airport, the country's second busiest airport, and the most important international airport for the inhabitants of southeastern Poland. In 2000, Krakow was named European Capital of Culture. In 2013, Krakow was officially approved as a UNESCO City of Literature. The city hosted World Youth Day in 2016 and the European Games in 2023. There are 5 nature reserves in Krakow, with a combined area of 48.6 hectares. Due to their ecological value, these areas are legally protected. The western part of the city, along its northern and northwestern side, borders an area of international significance known as the Jurassic Bielany Refuge. The main motives for the protection of this area include plant and animal wildlife, and the area's geomorphological features and landscape. Another part of the city is located within the ecological corridor of the Vistula River Valley. This corridor is also assessed as being of international significance as part of the Pan-European Ecological Network. Developed over many centuries, Krakow provides a showcase setting for many historic styles of architecture. As the city expanded, so too did the architectural achievements of its builders. It is for this reason that the variations in style and urban planning are so easily recognizable. Built from its earliest nucleus outward, and having escaped much of the destruction endured by Poland during the 20th century wars, Krakow's many architectural monuments can typically be seen in historical order, by walking from the city center out towards its later districts. Krakow is one of the few medieval towns in Poland that does not have a historic Kratos town hall in its main square, because it has not survived the partitions of Poland. Krakow's historic center, which includes the Old Town, Kazimierz and the Wawel Castle, was included as the first of its kind on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1978. The Stare Miasto is the most prominent example of an old town in the country. For many centuries, Krakow was the royal capital of Poland, until Sigismund III Vasa relocated the court to Warsaw in 1596. The whole district is bisected by the Royal Road, the coronation route traversed by the kings of Poland. The route begins at St. Florian's Church outside the northern flank of the old city walls in the medieval suburb of Klepers, passes the Barbican of Krakow built in 1499, and enters Stare Miasto through the Florian Gate. It leads down Floriadska Street through the main square, and up Grodzka to Wawel, the former seat of Polish royalty, overlooking the Vistula River. Old Town attracts visitors from all over the world. Krakow is the second most visited city in Poland, after Warsaw. Krakow Historic Center is one of the 13 places in Poland that are included in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The architectural design of the district had survived all cataclysms of the past, and retained its original form coming from the medieval times. There are about 40 parks in Krakow, including dozens of gardens and forests. Several, like the Planty Park, Botanical Garden, Zoological Garden, Royal Garden, Park Krakowski Jordan Park and Bonia Park, are located in the center of the city. Krakow is one of Poland's most important economic centers, and the economic hub of the Lesser Poland region. Since the fall of communism, the private sector has been growing steadily. There are about 50 large multinational companies. Krakow is one of the co-location centers of knowledge and innovation community of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. Public transport is based on a fairly dense network of tram and bus routes operated by a municipal company, supplemented by a number of private minibus operators. local trains connect some of the suburbs. The bulk of the city's historic area has been turned into a pedestrian zone with rickshaws and horse-drawn carriages. However, the trams run within a 3-block radius. The metropolitan city of Kraków is known as the City of Churches. The abundance of landmark historic temples along with the plenitude of monasteries and convents earned the city a countrywide reputation as the Northern Rome in the past. The churches of Kraków comprise over 120 places of worship, of which over 65 were built in the 20th century. More are still being added. Kraków is a major center of education. 24 institutions of higher education offer courses in the city, with more than 200,000 students. In terms of culture, Kraków was named the official European Capital of Culture for the year 2000 by the European Union. It is a major attraction for both local and international tourists, attracting nearly 13 million visitors a year. Krakow's 28 museums are separated into the national and municipal museums. The city also has a number of art collections and public art galleries. The National Museum, established in 1879, as well as the National Art Collection on Wawel Hill, are all accessible to the general public. Opera Krakowska, one of the leading national opera companies, stages 200 performances each year, including ballet, operettas and musicals. It has, in its main repertoire, the greatest world and Polish opera classics. The opera moved into its first permanent house in the autumn of 2008. It is in charge also of the Summer Festival of Opera and Operetta. As for tourism, according to official statistics, Kraków is visited by over 14 million tourists, including 3.3 million foreign travelers. Most foreign tourists come from Germany, the United Kingdom, Italy, France, Spain, and Ukraine. The main reasons for visiting the city are its historical monuments, recreation as well as relatives and friends, religion, and business. There are 120 quality hotels in Kraków, usually about half full, offering 15,485 overnight accommodations. The average stay lasts for about 4 to 7 nights.